My name's Joe Inslee, and I'm excited to have you here for another edition of Characters in the Bible, Homegirl Edition. And today we get to talk about one of my favorite homegirls that we'll get to talk about, and that is Jael. Now, I hinted at what we were going to talk about with Jael in my other video about Deborah, because Deborah and Jael are connected. And you'll see that if you go back and watch my video on Deborah. But today we get to talk about Jael, and her name, I have to first tell you about, means mountain goat. Now, you're going to have to forgive her for the name and what it means, because that's not super attractive, but Jael is going to do something super cool for us. Now, I told you about the story of Deborah, because Deborah and this guy named Barak are chasing a king named Jabin. But Jabin's general is this guy named Sisera. Sisera is the one commanding the battles and all the armies. Well, Deborah, mainly Deborah, but a little bit of Barak too, they go ahead and they squash this guy's army. They toast him in battle. So Sisera is on the run, and Sisera is running away from Deborah and Barak. Now, you got to imagine, this guy's just been whooped by a female prophet in patriarchal times, and he's running for his life. So Sisera is pretty much ashamed, embarrassed. You know that show, Naked and Afraid? This is kind of this guy's personal place. This is where he's at. He needs some me time. So he's running along, and he knows that he has an old buddy, and his old buddy is named Heber. And there's peace between the house of his king and this guy Heber, as far as he knows. And this guy Heber has a tent nearby. So Sisera's running by, and he's all upset because he doesn't want people to find out that a woman just smoked him, and he lost all his people, and it's not really a good day. And he's running past, and Jael, the heroine of today's story, today's homegirl, steps out of her tent and says,
"Shh, Sisera, come over here. I got a spot."
Sisera's is like, whoop! Jael just don't save the day. I know you, your husband's Heber. She's like, yeah, that's me. Come on in and let's let you get a nap. You look exhausted. And so Sisera, he lays down, he's like, can I have some water? Sisera's just like every kid when you try to put him to bed. Jael can't put the king down. She has to get him water before his bedtime. But she decides she really wants to get him kind of sleepy. And so instead of giving him water, it says she opens up a container of milk, gives him the milk to drink, covers him over again with a blanket, and there goes Sisera. Gotta understand, Jael served the one true God. The same God that had directed Deborah and Barak to knock out this guy's army is the God of Jael. So she goes around and she's kind of looking for a murder weapon. And she sees a pile of tent stakes lying around. So she takes one of her tent stakes, think 9-inch long nail, puts it up to the man's temple, and ding, 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 goes ahead and takes Sisera out and kind of ends the whole conflict that Deborah and Barak were talking about. Now, my favorite part of this whole narrative is when you get to the end of it, and we've seen that Jael's done her job, it says that God subdued the armies of Jabin. So even though Deborah had this huge part and she knocked it out, and Barak had a little bitty part and he helped out too, and Jael had a really cool part and she got to bring the enemy general into her tent and take care of him, still God is the hero of this story. And so I guess the application for believers like you and me is that God is always doing something for his purposes. And all we have to do is say, Lord, what part do you want me to play? And let him go ahead and take the glory like Jael and Deborah did and sing about how great and mighty God is. And maybe your part is to be the prophetess that goes out and boldly proclaims the word of the Lord and leads people into battle for the right thing. Or maybe you'll have more of a background role, like my girl Jael. Just take out the enemy king in the background. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Whether the Lord has you out in front of people or behind people, the Lord has a purpose for you, and he's the one that's ultimately working for our good.